lot of ice cream to hit the spot. Toss the fish, let it fly. Fly, fly, pizza pie. Pizza! P-I-Z-Z-A. Give me pizza! Watch it rise like a souffle. Give me pizza!
But, shit, I guess, yeah, I guess we should talk about, okay, a bunch of stuff, right? The first thing was I watched a couple reviews, and one of my subscribers sent me this video from this dude named Trilby, right? And he did a review on well, not even a review. He just said the ending to The Amazing Spider-Man 2 does not work. And I was like, really? And then,
God, you know.
Exactly.
Nothing's ever good enough.
I know, right? I hate you all. but like,
my life is ending because it didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Exactly. So, like, you know, I wanted to, like, point out, because he asked me, the one subscriber, it was the Running Man, he asked me, he was like, so, he was like, the dude just seems misinformed. And I'm like, okay, well, let me watch his videos. And it's kind of messed up because his videos are typically pretty concise. You know, when he does his reviews, he breaks things down and it makes a lot of sense in some ways. But then here with Spider-Man, it's like exactly what you said. He had a vision. He was not the director. He was not part of the crew making the film. So because it didn't go how he wanted, it just doesn't work. So the things I wanted to point out is, wasn't it obvious that, like, almost every villain in the movie had some kind of mental illness? I mean, like, their logic was fucked up. Fucking Jamie Foxx was hearing voices and having conversations with himself.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx was fucking murphing out hard.
It wasn't even a question. It wasn't
having fucking conversations.
Yeah, like with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man had a different voice and everything. It was like, it was clear as day that this man was, like, at the end of his rope.
Yeah, and that's when you come in to see the character.
You're meeting him at the very end of his sanity.
Yeah.
His sanity's holding on for dear life. like an anklet on a fat chick.
But you know, it's so weird how many people I watched reviews and they didn't get this. They just said, oh, he changed really fast. I'm like, no, you came into his life when he's already in the process of losing his mind. Like, they didn't need to have a whole movie where they spend building up to this point. That's where you meet the character, which is...
Exactly.
It's pretty...
And that's a good point that you've just said that. It's really good because that's what most movies don't do and fail miserably on.
Exactly.
It's like they have to give such a big backstory. It's like, no, if we're following the hero and the hero just met this person, knows nothing about him...
Yeah.
That's part of the mystique behind the fucking villain.
Exactly.
That's going on to what we were talking about the last time.
Yeah.
With a mystery behind villains and how it's not there anymore.
Exactly.
That's what you needed.
Yep. And you don't need to spend, because it's like moviegoers have they've gotten accustomed to every movie spending, like, the majority of the film giving you the backstory for every fucking character. You know, that's why every superhero film has all this backstory and all this, you know, build up and build up and build up. That's not part of the main, like, the premise of this particular story. I mean, this is the fifth Spider-Man film? Why do we need to explain, like, for a whole movie who Harry Osborn is? Or,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't know who he was beforehand, now you know who he is based on all the films that came before. So,
exactly. As if they didn't beat the horse a little bit more after that.
Exactly.
The first three films.
Exactly.
They didn't need to beat the horse anymore. They're like, okay, he's a friend, and he, sure, you didn't see him in the first movie, but it's unimportant anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like he went away. He's a rich kid. They do that kind of shit. His father sent him away. End of story. Now he's back. Here we go. Pick up where you left off. People were like, yeah, we needed more backstory. We needed more time. People said,
more time? It was almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't need any more.
If I stayed there any longer, I thought I was going to fucking grow gray hair.
And it's funny, too, because, like, there's other things. Like, Homeboy was complaining about Gwen Stacy's death and how in the comics, during the end portion of her life, she was knocked out. She was unconscious. And Spider-Man saves her, but then he's like cockily, you know, commending himself for catching her, not noticing that she broke her neck. But I'm like, okay, if Peter Parker was that guy, he would be really unlikable. Because in this framework,
people already didn't like this.
I heard a lot of people, including this guy. He said he did not like Peter Parker. He was not a good person. And I'm like, he was a good person because once he put on the mask, he was doing everything for everyone else. And the tragic portion about his story is that he can save everybody else. He just can't save the people he loves. Like, something is always happening to his family members or like the really close people, and he's powerless in those situations. Whereas, or at least this far, he's not strong enough yet. But like when it comes to saving the world at large, he can do it. He's got the skills and the abilities, and he can do it. He does it. So it's tragic, he lives for everyone else, and he's learning that every time he makes a decision that would only benefit him, it's like fate steps in and is like, nah, fuck that. You can't do that shit. Like, he lost Gwen Stacy in this film when he made the decision to follow her to England, because that would completely shit on all the New Yorkers who now have to deal with all the villains that popped up because of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So
it's a complete selfish thing that he was going to do.
Exactly. And he can't do that shit. It's the same issues Superman has. Superman has, like, expressed multiple times that, like, because he chose to do what he does, there is no time 100% for him to just, be a family man, and Lois kind of understands it, but at times the drama is that she doesn't get that she doesn't really want him to spend all that time, helping everyone else and not having time for himself and her. So it's like, this is the drama that goes back and forth. Anyway, in the books, when she died, she was unconscious. Spider-Man caught her and was giving himself props when he caught her. He's like, oh, I love my spider powers. Like, I can do this, I can do that. And then he realizes, oh, shit, she's dead. Wouldn't he seem like such a dick if he did that in this? I mean,
it wouldn't even work.
Exactly.
Like, totally, it wouldn't work for the way the rest of the movie was. And for that fight scene, like that fight scene, even though I knew what the fuck was going to happen because I read the comics. And, if you have read comics, this is a story between Peter and Gwen. Even watching that shit, like, you still wanted him to save her.
Yeah.
No matter what, like, man, that shit grabbed me, man.
Because, like, they switched enough that it wasn't exactly what we read. And you have to remember, like, in the 60s, most women were just damsels in distress unless they were superheroes or something, Yep. It's fucking 2014, and she actually was making choices. He also brought up the fact that she made, he didn't bring that up. Comic Book Girl 19 brought up the fact that in this, she made the choice to follow him, so it absolves Peter of the guilt of allowing her to die.
Yeah.
Whereas in the previous story, because he's a man and she's a woman, it was like the bad guy snatched her. She was a damsel in distress. He failed to save her, so it was 100% his fault. I don't see what the issue is if the modern writers give the female the ability to be, like, in charge of her own destiny. She said she wanted to go with him. He actually tried to stop her from going with him. She found a way to go with him, Like, she was acting of her own free will. I mean, it's weird because you have some female comic book fans or whatever, critics, that always bitch when a girl is treated like an object. Then you have the ones that complain when they do the whole girlfriend in the refrigerator thing, where the girl exists just to die, so it furthers the hero's journey. Then you have the ones that just complain all across the board. And it's like, so what the fuck? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, the movie was...
that's the thing, like, I'm just sick of, like, okay, the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, wah, wah.
Exactly.
This is a good fucking movie. And if people don't understand that this is a good fucking movie, then don't fucking watch comic book movies anymore. They don't understand what a good movie is.
Exactly. It's weird because, like, I'll admit that it is, the fact that we even have the Amazing Spider-Man film it's corporate. I get it. They're just trying to keep the license so they can keep that stream of revenue coming in. But there are some things that were done in the film that are actually a little bit out of the box from what we're used to with Spider-Man. And I think that it was good. It wasn't necessarily a step backwards. And it's strange to me that people point out all this shit in a Spider-Man movie, but then we jump over to the X-Men films, and nobody says anything about all the stupid shit in those films, from Hula Hoops of Doom to the lack of the lack of the fucking civil rights movement, to the fact that they killed off the only black dude in the room just because he mentioned the word slavery.
They didn't even have to kill him off.
Yeah,
he was practically the most powerful character.
He was the most powerful character there. They even upgraded Shaw to make him more powerful so he could actually kill off all those other guys. It was just stupid. And everyone said, oh, X-Men First Class is an amazing film. Well, a lot of people. It's not that good of a film. I mean,
directing, I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah,
everything else is fucked up. It's all fucked up.
I mean, like, the music was cool. You're right. The direction was cool, but you could tell they rushed. And so, like, things that could have been amazing were not amazing. X-Men 2, they say, is one of the greatest comic book films of all time. But they rushed through the Phoenix saga. And it wasn't even comparable. It wasn't even comparable.
Something else.
Yeah. It wasn't even comparable to the Phoenix saga that we read, but everybody's like, oh, it was good because they had black leather and Wolverine got to do a whole lot, and like, what the fuck?
Mostly because of the black leather, though.
Yeah, I know. We love black leather. It's edgy. It's cool. It's hip. That's what the kids like these days.
If only he had assless chaps, it would have really like icing on the cake for me.
Quoted by Bryan Singer.
I know, right?
Hey, Wolvie, you want to come in here and put on some chaps for me?
Got me 6 ways from Sunday.
Oh, come on. Man, but still,
it's gonna be like the what was it? The Blue Oyster from the Police Academy.
But so many people watching are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Like, what the fuck are these geezers talking about?
What's Police Academy?
Police Academy? That was before I was even thought of.
God, but yeah, man, I don't get it. It's like when you hear critiques like that, I just can't give them. I can't give them any type of credence or any props, any nothing, because it's like you don't understand what's going on. Peter, he still has the same. The journey is still similar. The only things I'll agree with that they've pointed out is I'm tired of the backstory with his parents. Like, just let that shit die. It's not really that important. I don't like that Oscorp is behind, like, the majority of the villains now, because that means every day will be the same. Because Oscorp is in New York, Spider-Man is in New York, Harry is his friend who owns Oscorp or works for Oscorp or whatever. He's connected to it, and every day they're gonna fight near Oscorp, or they're gonna come back and be like, "Oh shit, he came from Oscorp." Yeah. Like, that's just lame. They shouldn't have done that. I mean, it worked for this one if they remove them from Oscorp and say, like, maybe that was the source, but like now they're no longer affiliated with Oscorp. Then I'll be like, okay, that's awesome.
Plus, it did kind of work in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, because there were a lot of enemies that they made come from Oscorp, like because Doc Ock was affiliated with Oscorp. Spider-Man clones were affiliated with Oscorp. Even Scorpion, since he was a clone of Peter Parker, with all that Scorpion shit grafted onto him, came from Oscorp. So maybe they're using, obviously they've been using that as a template.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I hear reviews and no one mentions that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this movie is like half 616 Spidey and half Ultimate Spidey. They just like the original Ultimate Spidey. So like it's kind of its own thing, because they're putting together two different universes to give you something unique. I don't get what the problem is. I mean, maybe it's because either you like the 616 version or either you like the Ultimate version. You know what I mean? It seems like most people are one or the other. There's not as many people who like both. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or like both equally, I guess I should say. But yeah, I was like, man, I watched a bunch of Homeboy's videos, and then I went and I watched other people's reviews of the film, and I was just like, man, people nitpick the shit out of Spider-Man films, but they don't nitpick this hard about films that are actually bad, especially comic book films. The X-Men movies are trash. nothing. How do you have an X-Men anything and not have Cyclops front and center in every film? If we do a search for the X-Men right now,
Wolverine will come up. Just Wolverine.
If we did a search for the X-Men comics right away, you're gonna see 95% at least, you know, up to like 2000 and something. We'll have Cyclops front and center and all the other X-Men around him. Or he'll be in the picture pretty big because he's the leader of the fucking team, you know? I know. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense. Dude, it took them 3 movies to finally put Beast in.
Yeah, which makes no sense because he's one of the first fucking X-Men. Yeah, they don't know.
Bryan Singer's a retard. I mean, he didn't know Gambit.
Guys, but I don't like hairy guys.
And he doesn't like people who throw.
Hey, he loves Wolverine.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the Cajun accent, so Gambit got screwed. I don't know. It's just it's a shame. It's a shame, and that's pretty much as I want to even say about the film. The film was not perfect because it wasn't like there wasn't room for improvement in some stuff, but it was really good. It was fun enough. I mean, people have lost the ability to have fun with a film if one thing doesn't fit what they expect it to be like. If that's the way you feel, then start making films, start making comics, start making shit that maybe one of these producers could come across and be like, huh, this is how you do it. And they could learn from your example as opposed to sitting in the sidelines, freaking, you know, jerking off and then going to the theater and be like, oh, this sucks. Like, what the fuck?
And with most of the scenes, you could probably run to the bathroom, jerk off, come back, and not miss it.
Because it was so much, you know? And I don't know. It's shit's annoying. It's like, ooh, this thing doesn't work for me. Oh, this thing doesn't work for me, so the whole movie sucks. This is the reason why I started doing fucking reviews. Is because people said, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse was garbage because Darkseid was voiced by a different guy besides Michael Ironsides.
What's wrong with that movie now?
Yeah, the movie was fucking awesome. The end of that movie, if we could get that in live action, we have a winner. We have a winner. That's I know, right? The new champion. That's what we need. And people are saying because Andre Braugher had a completely different sensibility in his voice. Like, he sounded more intelligent, more cerebral, and less scary. Whereas, like, Michael Ironsides just sounds fucking scary. I mean, have you ever played Splinter Cell? Fucking Sam Fisher sounds like he's gonna rape everybody on the screen. And it's like, whoo, shit. Like,
come here, I'm gonna have sex with your mouth.
I know, right? Just don't say anything, boy. Don't say a word.
Between us and the shadows.
Be very cloak and dagger.
Emphasis on dagger.
Now take that dagger.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's biggest fault was time.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they couldn't put in all the things they wanted to put in.
Well, they wanted to put too much shit in there. Like that fucking and someone else pointed this out and I didn't think about it until afterwards. His dad's evil lair. Like, what the fuck was that?
I thought they explained that it was
No, I know they explained it was President Roosevelt put that there.
Yeah.
But the fact that his dad used that as a secret lair, what the fuck? I was like, why does his dad have an evil lair in the fucking, you know, train system? Yeah, like that just seemed weird. And like we're supposed to be rooting for this guy, you know what I mean? Like he's creepy. He's really fucking creepy and not in a good way at all. He just was that just didn't make sense to me. And it felt like they could have cut that out and he could have been crying in front of his computer because he found a zip drive or a fucking flash drive with the same information and we would have got the same effect. We didn't need the fucking train car to come up out of the ground and the fucking, you know, the token to go. Stuff like that is what I mean when I say it's not perfect. I'm not trying to diss it. Like, you know, a lot of people will watch a film and just say, oh, you know, it wasn't perfect, but they won't tell you what it is that was wrong with the film. You know, they do the same thing with video games, and it's like, you don't have to say something is imperfect if you don't actually know why you think it's imperfect, you know? Like, if you have a reason, give us the reason. It's an educated reason. That way we can understand. Don't just diss it because you want to sound elitist and, you know, I've seen better films.
I've made better films with my own camera.
I know, right?
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of that stuff...
I saw that originally, the train thing in the trailer. I was like, okay, maybe that's got something to do with like Harry Osborn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would have made sense for like that character, like him. Maybe he's storing the Green Goblin suit there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought it had to do with like.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
no, you're good.
I thought it had to do with like, you know, because they show you in the trailer how Oscorp had been following Peter Parker, and so maybe they were trying to follow him in order to find out, you know, what stuff his father was hiding, and that's where the train kind of fit in.
Yeah.
But you know, they took all that stuff out, and just like they did with the first movie, they never put the stuff that they shot in that movie from the trailers that you saw that didn't appear in the movie onto the DVD. So you may never know.
We'll never know where
they were originally trying to go for with all that.
I thought that it was going to be the train car piece was like the entrance to wherever they were hiding all the Sinister Six gear, because I didn't think it was going to all necessarily be in Oscorp. Like, hey, guess what? There's this. It's the Sinister Six floor. Like, wait, the Sinister...
That's going to be like their headquarters, I feel like.
Which is just weird. It just doesn't seem right. They seemed like they were kind of a bunch of random, loose cannon type villains that were funded by an unbelievably rich source. And that's what it was. But now they're making it all Oscorp. And that's a flaw to me. But I can still...
It's a flaw, but I think it's kind of a minuscule flaw.
Exactly.
When it comes to like the overall picture of what they're trying to go for, I think.
Yeah.
The concept itself still works overall.
Yeah.
I think it can work as long as it doesn't get too fucking out of hand.
Exactly. And that's what I'm hoping.
It was cool to see like the Vulture's wings and Doc Ock's tentacles. And,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of soon, which is weird, but still, it's cool because he died in the Raimi films, and he'll be alive in this, you know. So, I don't know.
I'm interested to see what they do with Venom, though.
I hope he's not in the Sinister Six, because if he is, that'll be another huge flaw. You know what I mean? Like,
Venom is like you know, they view Venom as very popular and important to the Spider-Man character.
Exactly.
Like when you think of Spider-Man, you think of the black suit, and you think of, you know, the whole Venom series, and then when, you know, I mean, that's gonna happen down the road. I don't know how many more movies are gonna do. I believe 6.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 more movies. I think it's 5 movies. It's supposed to be 5 films after this, because they said there's the Sinister Six, and then there's a 3-arc set of movies that's coming with Mary Jane involved.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We'll see.
I just really hope the next movie isn't all about Mary Jane, because you're rushing it too much.
Yeah.
I think you really need to ease him into that. If you want to make the death of Gwen Stacy important, you need to ease him into Mary Jane and not just fucking throw her coming out of nowhere. You know.
Well, if they do it where, if they try to go where she, how do I put it? The movie takes place several years after the death of Gwen Stacy. Then people could be like, oh, okay, I see. He's coping with what's going on, and then maybe towards the end of the film, she pops up. That'd be awesome. Shit, even if the very last scene of the movie is, you know, him opening the door, and she's like, you know, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot, like in the books. I wouldn't have a problem with that if he met her somewhere else, you know, and you see her once maybe or twice. There's a scene in the film, and you know, things kind of build up, and then finally they meet, and it's the way it's supposed to be. Cool, you know. That was vague as fuck.
They should meet in college.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They meet first. They see each other in the same place over and over and over and over, and that's what builds towards the first, you know, kind of like, this is the example of what's going to happen. They're going to be, this is his last woman, the last woman he's ever going to be with, because he's going to marry her, and she's going to be the perfect one. Because that's the way I see it. It's like, he went through all those relationships, which we never see in the films. I mean, they don't show you Betty Brant. Yeah. They haven't shown you fucking Felicia Hardy. They haven't shown you any of the other ones. What was that other chick that, she was friends with Harry, and then she marries fucking, Molten Man? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember her name.
Oh my god. But anyway, Spider-Man's had a shitload of relationships, you know, and they all were kind of, You know, each one was a little better than the last one. And then he has all this tragedy, and then at the end of all that shit, he gets Mary Jane, which is like the fucking ultimate get, you know what I mean? She did some crazy shit in those old books, but like overall, she was a good chick. That's the point. She's the best chick that he meets. So I think if they get to that soon enough, and then put him into the big, like we call it the shit breaking, when like the worst, like if they do a maximum if that 3 arc whatever is maximum carnage, or like symbiote something like War of Symbiotes or some shit, he would need her in his corner so he could get through all that shit, because the symbiote crap was pretty crazy, you know what I mean? Like fucking symbiotes eating people's brains and shit, like, you know what I mean? It almost sounds...
Was it Liz Allen?
Yeah, Liz Allen.
Okay.
I don't think... He didn't end up going out with her, or did he? In Ultimate Spider-Man, did he go out with her, or in regular Spider-Man, did he?
It was just regular Spider-Man, because they didn't even... I don't think the Ultimate ever even made an appearance in
Ultimate. Yeah, they didn't get that far. It was regular Spider-Man. Because I know she marries... They didn't date, though. They were, like, friends or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, there's like this whole... And I'm still surprised that they didn't do this yet. There's this whole crew of people that always hung out with Spider-Man, even through college, that you never see in these films anymore. Like, Flash Thompson showed up twice in the films, once as a complete asshole, the second time as a complete asshole, but in a different kind of way. And you never see him again. Like, where are all those people that are supposed to be his homies that, like, he hangs out with?
Yeah, especially since Flash is Spider-Man's biggest fan.
Yeah, like you never see that, you know? And I think they need at least one movie where you give us our little fucking, I hate saying it, but like your little Friends cast with Spider-Man. And, you know, I gotta say it. He's got, like, he's in New York and he doesn't have one friend of color. It's exactly Friends. Like they're in New York, and
you count Robbie Robertson.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yeah,
they're not hang out friends. I guess they're just acquaintances.
They just know he knows him. That's the one black friend. Oh.
He'll be strutting down the street to fucking staying alive. That bullshit.
Oh God, yeah, that was horrible. But I don't know. There's stuff they still need to do. If they work those things in there in a fairly intelligent way, then it's good. I won't complain. But, yeah, I think people have been way too hard on the fucking film, man. I mean, the way he was swinging was awesome. The way he fought was awesome. The way he used his spider sense was awesome.
Yeah, didn't that guy not like
he said the
action?
Yeah, he said the fights in the Raimi films were better than the fights in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm like, are you fucking
He's on that
ridiculous?
Track.
Yeah, I was like, the Raimi movies were good. Especially 2. Spider-Man 2 had amazing fight scenes. 3 actually even had some okay fight scenes. The one with the goblin with the ring, when Peter kept losing the ring that he was going to bring home to what's her name, that shit was amazing. But like the stuff he was doing in this was just way more like what Spider-Man would be doing. You know, catching shit with the little sticky things on his feet when he was catching the plutonium and all that stuff. Like that's Spider-Man. That's shit he does, you know? So I don't know.
I think for the most part, the thing about this new Spider-Man I noticed is that they get all the character designs right, except for the fucking faces. They can't, like, Green Goblin should have a mask on. Just give him a mask, please. Now it's, I guess, in the movie, because at the end, he's like, oh, it comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to, like, turn into a goblin, and then it's going to go away.
Yeah.
All right, fine. But he still needs a mask. Like, in the first one, like, the lizard's face was just...
Yeah, it was horrible.
Fucking weird looking.
Yeah.
It looked like the fucking Ninja Turtles face that's about to come out.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it looked like.
It's funny you mention it, because I'm going to bring that up later, too.
Oh, that monstrosity. I'm not going to see that shit.
Me either.
And it pains me to say that.
Me too.
I love the Ninja Turtles.
Me too. Me too.
They're going to fuck that all up.
Yeah.
I already bought that game that came out on the PSN and Xbox Live with all the glitches and problems that it has. And it's still, I would still rather play that game than watch the movie.
Yeah, because they looked good in that.
And they actually stuck more to what the Turtles really are than what this film was about to do.
Yeah.
Man.
I would love for them to just give us an original Turtles movie with they're all wearing red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me some gritty, slicing, dicing, fucking killing.
Yeah, like have them like real fucking ninjas. Let fucking Sho Kosugi and his stunt team fucking choreograph that shit. Have, you know, the turtles like real ninja. Where you see them, we only see them because we have the God view, but the rest of the world is not seeing them because they're ninja. That's the point. They go.
I want first appearance fucking Ninja Turtles.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. That volume 1, that shit would be amazing.
That seems like the biggest flaw, which a lot of people aren't really pointing out, is that movie. You don't really see the ninja part of the Ninja Turtles, except for like maybe Leonardo, because he's got that like generic bamboo shit that he looks like he took from that he got from like Lowe's.
I know, right?
Made that shit.
He bought that shit from World Market or something.
He's the only one.
Thing, though, like we've already gotten our '90s Ninja Turtles. Like we got them back when they were supposed to come out, the way they came out, and we got it was close enough to the cartoon.
Yeah,
it worked.
Yeah,
for that. But right now, like that's what they should have done. They should have just given us the first Ninja Turtles. And if you want to turn into a franchise, you can totally do it.
Yeah, because there's how many volumes of that original series that, you know, Eastman and Laird did that was in black and white and all that shit?
Yeah.
There was like a bunch of volumes.
It was a bunch.
You could keep on going from there all the way up to the fucking Triceraton homeworld shit. You could do the fucking and I think
Return to New York.
Yeah,
dope too.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much you could do, and they just don't want to do that. But hold on, let's before we get to that to Ninja Turtles, we got to talk about Black Panther, the film.
Yes, I heard about this.
There's a lot of people.
I was worried about the rumor because it came from Latino Review, and I don't trust anything that's from there. They just make shit up. They're just like, oh, what could I think of?
And everybody cites them as sources.
And they say that they're pretty reliable. Like, all I heard was that they said that there's no plans. But then I also read something where Kevin Feige said that they are working on a Black Panther film.
Yeah, even Stan Lee said it.
Mm-hmm. So... I don't know.
I'm so excited for this movie. You have no idea.
Like it just needs to happen.
I think they're already working on it.
Should have already happened.
And they're holding off, and they're saying that they're working on that it's still in pre-production or whatever. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if by Avengers 2 we see a little something.
Well, he should be in Avengers 2 because Ultron is using vibranium, which comes from Wakanda, and that's part of one of the first big stories he showed up in. Yeah. So like, why would you not put him in there?
He should be either towards the end, introduce him.
Yeah.
Or you know, show Wakanda, but don't introduce him yet, but introduce him at the end. That's a good build up.
Or like have them go to Wakanda. You see Panther statues everywhere. You hear them talking about the king, and when the king shows up, you're like, fuck.
Oh fuck.
Like it's the Black Panther. Like damn, you know what I mean?
But hell, they shouldn't even be able to make it to Wakanda.
Away from that,
that's true. They shouldn't even be able to get into Wakanda.
If they're gonna do him right, you got to give him an origin.
Yeah.
Because this is his first movie ever.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't want to fuck it up.
Or just write a good story where you can flash back to how he became the fucking Panther. Because I'm tired of every first movie being how they became the character when you have all these other characters that exist. Like, people, how do I put this? Like, since the Avengers, you had Iron Man 3, Thor 2, and you had the Captain Winter Soldier. All those movies are taking place simultaneously. You know what I mean? Like, technically, it has to be within the same span of time because they're all dealing with, like you don't see Tony Stark show up in the other movies because he was going through his own shit, you know? Thor was going through his own shit. Iron Man or Captain America's going through his shit. It's just the movies have to be released at different times. Wouldn't T'Challa already be there? Like, wouldn't he already be King of Wakanda?
You could do that. You could do like what Arrow does. During the movie, just have a flashback here and there.
Yeah.
Have a flashback showing his past, showing how he became king.
The movie should start with him eating the heart-shaped herb and then being blessed or whatever by the Panther God. And that should be like the intro.
Yeah, they could get that. They could get that out the way in the opening credits.
Yeah, do that. Do like a Batman Begins. Like, just do like if you're gonna do at least a 2-hour movie, do like 30 minutes of just
Yeah, the beginning.
His intro, and then just build from there. And then you got an hour and a half of just all Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing that I would love to see them do if they did after that, which, you know, obviously not a lot of movies or not a lot of comic book movies have had this. Just do like a team up movie with him and Captain America.
Yeah.
Do just him and Captain America though, just like Panther and Cap, or like Iron Man and Black Panther. Do like some sort of team up movie where it's just two characters and that's it.
I actually was I was gonna save this for because I was gonna do another thread because somebody said I didn't do when I did a thread on Black Panther and they said I didn't talk about any potential bad guys because that's part of what makes a good movie, and I was like, yeah, you're right, I should do a follow up, and I was thinking of that exact thing, like the movie, the trilogy would end with him teaming up with like the Fantastic Four to take on Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom would have been trying to make his way into Wakanda to take whatever it is he wants out of Wakanda. Like he would have been the mastermind, and you wouldn't have found out until like the third movie, and that would have been what led into the Marvel team up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be dope.
That would be sweet. That would be really cool. But and the other thing would be like do like even if it's just like one scene, you could do like one scene with like the Illuminati, but that'll never happen because
of the term Illuminati. Because it's just the name.
Illuminati. Dancing on the weekends and.
I just think it's strange, right, that so many people, and Agent O already covered this in his rant about the Black Panther, but so many people have issues with the idea of Black Panther and the idea of Wakanda being the most technologically advanced place on the planet. You know, the only place.
What's wrong with it?
I don't think anything's wrong with it at all. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with it.
Because it's Africa. If it was America, nobody would have any problem with it.
Or if it was Japan or something, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, of course it's like that." But you know,
they have fucking vibranium.
Yeah.
As their weapon.
Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly. Within the.
Of course, they would fuck any other country up. They could drop vibranium bombs and destroy everyone.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand that the same logic that works for all the like pre-civil rights movement characters and the post-civil rights movement characters, it's the same logic. You know, a superhero is a superhero. They need to stop seeing it based on color. Yeah, he's the Black Panther, but that's different. It could be a white guy under the suit, but it wouldn't make sense because it's Africa, it's Wakanda. He's of the royal lineage, which had to have been African people.
Why does he have to be white?
No. I'm not saying he has to be,
no.
but like.
No, I'm saying, why would these people want Black Panther to even be white?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Sense at all.
Yeah, they were talking about making Luke Cage white.
Yeah, I remember that years ago.
I was like, yeah, that kind of doesn't work because I mean, it's not like poor people. It's not like white people aren't living in the ghetto too, but. There was certain other things aside from the ghetto aspect that
Luke Cage
that pertain to Luke Cage.
He has his homeboy, freaking Iron Fist, who hangs out with him in the ghetto, doing shit that dealing with the.
He went to a mystical land.
Yeah,
kung fu. I
mean, look at how jacked up that is. Like the homeboy, the brown guy gets stuck in the streets. Going to jail, getting his powers in prison. When the white guy goes to fucking Shangri-La and learns mystical dragon fist martial arts and shit. Like, come on. At what point do they stop doing that? And then now you have a character who Stan Lee intended for it to be. This guy is supposed to be the antithesis of all the generic, black this, and they're just, 70s afros and blah, blah, blah. He's not that guy. He's like the timeless, he's a king. He's completely different from all that shit. And people are like, I don't think that could happen. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's a guy who I'm like in a comment debate with him on YouTube right now where he was telling me it doesn't work because he was basically saying Black Panther is cliche. And I was like, how is he cliche when he pretty much started the cliche you're talking about?
Yeah, he's like one of the first prominent black superheroes in the history of comics.
Yeah, people's logic is just... People refuse to see certain things, and no matter how much you try to retell them and you try to tell them in a different way so that they understand, they're always going to find a way to pick one part of your argument to debunk the rest of your argument, no matter what. I've watched him pick through my comments and pick out one thing and be like, no, that's not true because this, and this, and then that in turn makes everything else I've said moot. When you didn't bother to comment on all the other things I said because you couldn't debunk it.
Because it was
facts. Let's listen to the first part of that sentence, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's a fucking comic book movie.
Exactly. You can believe in fucking hobbits. You can believe in dragons. You can believe in fucking elves. You can believe in, a guy making a suit of armor. He can fly around, do things with super strength, get hit by superpowered beings, and not be jello inside the suit. But you can believe a guy is actually considered a god.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In this society where, Christianity is like the biggest thing, you can believe in the Norse gods, but you can't believe in a technologically advanced African civilization. Like, that kind of shit just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, in my thread, I was like, they made
oh, the super steroids?
No, yeah, that too. I was like, yeah, you watch Captain America get injected with super steroids and he becomes a war hero.
And beta rays.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Or even Asgard. Like, they made Asgard look dope. Like,
it was amazing.
Asgard originally looks like something out of Skyrim or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But they made it look awesome, and they made the Rainbow Bridge look dope.
And that works.
Yeah.
But not Black Panther. I'm sorry. Black guy in a suit and in Africa?
Being civilized?
He can't do that. He can't do that. It's ridiculous.
No, did they even have running water over there?
I know.
Don't you just catch AIDS from breathing the
air? Or malaria or something? Yeah, shoes? How can they have a costume? They don't even wear shoes. No shoes.
They know what shoes are? Do they have laces in those shoes?
Do they speak English? They don't speak American.
They wear flip-flops everywhere.
I swear.
Don't they just sleep with lions and tigers?
I know, in the jungle. People were taking that song literally.
I know, right? It's just sad because it's like, man, this is the one place. It's the one place where anything goes. Just about anything, man. Aliens, cyborgs, fucking medieval characters out of time, freaking Greek gods, Norse gods, African gods, Chinese gods. It doesn't matter. They're all on equal playing fields because anything can happen, especially because the first major hero, had godly powers. So now everything else underneath godly it's available. You could do it. And people are trying to tell us because it's a film, or it wouldn't work because it's a film. As if there aren't genres of film. As if, there aren't subgenres of film. As if, there's no science fiction. There's no fantasy. Like, come on, why is it that certain things are restricted racially? It's just really stupid, and I can't wait for them to do it, blow people's minds, and then we can stop having the debate, because it's really dumb. I mean, I
think it's mostly because it's a black character.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
People are just unwilling to accept black characters, I feel like.
It's true. It's very true.
I'll be the first one to say it. Nobody agrees with me. That's because nobody else has a problem with anything else. But whenever there's a black character introduced, people automatically have problems.
Exactly.
And I'm not speaking for everybody because I know a lot of people that don't have that problem.
Exactly.
Give me a character. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyone.
If he's a badass, look at Blade. He was not only probably the best person to start this off because he was obscure enough that not everyone knew, but the changes that they made actually made him better, in my opinion.
Yes.
But they don't give him credit for starting this shit off.
They don't give Wesley Snipes enough credit.
That was their first big blockbuster.
Exactly. And it
was the first real character, and I don't count that fucking Dolph Lundgren Punisher shit. Bag of crap. And I definitely don't count that original Fantastic Four. That was holy moly.
God.
Thing looked like he had Down syndrome. I
don't know. But yeah, man, it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. Like, everyone knows it started with Blade, then X-Men, then everything else. But they always say it started with X-Men. Like, really?
And Blade was good, and X-Men were horrible.
Yeah, yeah. The third Blade that doesn't exist
Man, we don't talk about that movie.
No, we try to act like you know,
Trinity never happened.
It didn't happen, but that one was bad. But the first
it happened.
I know, right? no, stop it, no.
I think by then Wesley Snipes was just like, "Fuck it, man, I just need a paycheck."
He was having problems with David Goyer. David Goyer was trying to get him out of there because they weren't agreeing on stuff, and they made David Goyer the director. He wrote the others with help from the directors because, you know, Guillermo del Toro, fucking masterclass director. This motherfucker will not let you give him shit to make, you know, a film out of. He will make it work. And he called it sperm removal when he redid all the shit. When he redid or took out all the crap that David Goyer was trying to force on him. He was like, yeah, no, this wouldn't work, And then when Goyer got control over Blade Trinity, all the shit he didn't get to put in Blade 2 was all in Blade Trinity. That's why the movie's so disjointed and it's so strange, because he just threw all this random shit that didn't work in the first movie in another movie where it didn't have any business actually being in there.
Goyer needs to be on.
I'm pretty sure Triple H wouldn't have worked in any movie.
Yeah.
So when I heard he was going to be in the movie, I'm like, oh god, I'm not watching that.
Goyer needs to be on one of those child leashes. Whenever he works with a director, just yank him back when he starts to go too far with an idea. Just yoke his ass back.
Be on a choker, like dig into your neck a little bit,
or a shot collar.
I know, right? Just put an invisible fence up. Oh, you went too far. You'll learn eventually.
But it's true. It's very true that like Goyer just. I don't know, and it's weird. You can tell that the movies that were successful, like the Dark Knight movies, mainly Batman Begins, but you could tell Batman Begins was good because some of those ideas was David Goyer's ideas, but Christopher Nolan was like, let me temper this shit. Some of this makes sense. Now let's refine it.
Hell, there's a part on the Batman Begins DVD where they show what Goyer's original idea was when Scarecrow shoots him with the fear toxin. And it starts off a lot like the movie, and then it just goes off in this entirely different direction where he's seeing like characters that haven't even been introduced yet.
Of course,
you know, it's just way more tripped out, and it's like no wonder why he cut all that shit out, because you see how bad it all would have been if you had actually seen it on film.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just not as good of a writer, and you know. His ideas, I agree he has good ideas, but that's it. He has to be working with someone, and when he works with someone, if they're a better writer, they can take his ideas and actually make it into something. And I mean, look at the first Blade is almost flawless. It's low budget in a sense compared to the other movies, but there's other things in it that make it a good, very good, like stand out on its own. You really can't compare it to too many other types of movies. It's a superhero flick somewhat. It's an action film. It's a horror film. It's a vampire.
It's a lot of different genres melded into one.
Exactly.
And that and Blade 2, I almost like Blade 2 a little bit more than Blade 1.
Yeah, I do too, because it was flashier. You got to see Blade do more. Whereas the first one, they treated Blade almost the way you should treat Batman. He showed up, he did what he did, and he was out.
Yep.
You know, and they showed you how he works, and then they show you the problem. Then Blade showed up, wrecked shop, and he was out. It was always the same situation. They didn't waste too much time trying to force Blade, you know, in your face. They were like, look, this is what he does. This is how he operates. End of story. Whereas,
and when he showed up, you knew somebody was going to get fucked up.
Yeah. Like that very
because
first.
He was Wesley Snipes, but you knew somebody's still going to get fucked up.
You meant business.
Exactly, like that very first scene. Blood everywhere. Blade was clean. Fucking.
I love that beginning scene.
Fresh to death. Like he just jumped out of a coffin, just fresh to death. Blood everywhere. Blade was like, you know I'm going to fuck all of you up, right? You know it. And he did it, and it was fucking awesome, and I don't know how people could watch the film and not get it, you know what I mean, and not feel it, because I've heard people say, oh, Blade 1 wasn't that great, or Blade 2 wasn't that great. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude.
You have shitty taste in
I want to know why they think that, other than...
You know,
they have bad taste.
Yeah. Horrible taste. Like the folks that said X-Men Origins Wolverine was great.
Oh, God, really?
I've had this argument.
God, I love that Deadpool!
I've had arguments with
I
people.
know this. How the fuck did those blades come out of his arms? His arms would have had to have been straight the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Deadpool, could you pass me that?
He's knocking off everything on the table.
First of all, I can't talk. He's gonna stare at you while he waves his arms in the air because he can't. His fucking blades. It looks like an air traffic controller.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, man. Deadpool's another character. I have to do another one of those force-fed character spots and focus on Deadpool because I hate Deadpool. I hate him because
I hate Deadpool with a passion.
Me
I
too.
used to like Deadpool, but
because the idea was cooler than the character. Because they've played out the thing that made him interesting.
Yeah.
The whole fourth wall thing. Okay, cool. Break the fourth wall. That's awesome. But you do it every time you show up. You know what I mean? And then he shows up. They did stupid shit like having him be able to pick up Thor's hammer. Why? He clearly had killed and murdered folks.
Come on.
And that's an old story. That's like years and years ago. I think
Oh,
early.
I know, but I know it just
Doesn't make sense, right? Because they thought
Because he's Deadpool.
it'd be funny if Deadpool did this.
Cute and he's sexy to look at and he's funny.
Or like him healing from like a little piece of
Anything.
himself. Like, come on. How many times are we gonna play that out? Where you got these Jesus level fucking evil mutants or killers, these Jesus level Deadpool, real name, Jesus. Like, like really
Basically.
I'm
Son
tired
of
of that.
God.
I'm tired of that. It's such bullshit. And people always bitch about Superman. What's the greatest power you could possibly have? What would make every choice that you make like inconsequential? It's fucking healing from anything. You know?
He's just so OP. Like, you would basically have to throw Deadpool into the sun to finally kill him. Because he can reconfigure.
Because, like, they didn't bother to think about it in a logical kind of way. Because you have animals in real life that regenerate. But if you kill the brain, it kills the ability for these things to, like, indefinitely regenerate. Because now you have nothing giving the instructions. So, yeah, if the cells do it on their level, fine. Cellularly, they'll keep going. But once the brain is dead, the rest of the body starts shutting down, which includes the cells. So if you stabbed Wolverine in his brain, it's done. Why is it that Sabretooth was retarded when he got stabbed in the brain?
That's true.
Wolverine gets blown up into bits and pieces, and we sit there and watch frame by frame. He just comes back, and he remembers what just happened, too. Like, come on. You can't keep doing... It's like real inconsistent storytelling, but these fans love it. You know, like in X-Men, right? The movies. X-Men 2, Wolverine got shot in the head, fell down for like a couple seconds. His healing factor pushed the bullet out. He got up. He was fighting. X-Men Origins, he was just fresh out of the adamantium surgery. He got shot in the head by Agent Zero, and he shrugged it off like it was nothing. It was like, dude, I'm about to fuck you up. Really?
Yeah.
So, like,
well, the whole adamantium
It took him
bullet
to get
is
shot with an adamantium bullet. To
Okay.
forget everything.
yeah.
And then, why is it that Agent Zero was so awesome with guns, but they didn't give him adamantium bullets?
Yeah, right?
Just think about,
Greatest agent ever.
like, think about how fast the movie would have been done if that shot, when he shot Wolverine in the head, when he popped up out of the water, was with the adamantium bullet instead of
Deceased.
Stryker. Yeah, it just Wolverine.
I mean,
the
that
logic
logic of that movie just doesn't work.
and the
Why
same.
is there only one adamantium bullet?
It sounds
Is
nice.
the government so poor they can't afford more than one? They can afford to fill this guy's body up with adamantium.
Multiple people's bodies, multiple, because they did the same thing to Deathstrike.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing they were gonna do the same thing to Deadpool.
Quotation marks Deadpool.
Or Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
He looked like Baraka without the teeth and everything, man.
Yeah, exactly. I
don't-
could have just put Baraka in there. Fuck it.
It would have been a better fight.
Character, Baraka. There you go. Go with it.
Oh man, I don't get it. I fucking don't get it. It just, the double standards are painful. It doesn't make any damn sense. It'd be nice if people actually they just do some research and be open so you can understand like what makes a good story, what makes a good character, and then judge the character, judge the story and the character based on what's the actual content, you know, not the fact that he's black or Chinese or whatever, you know? Because it's kind of weird when you see how the progression of these films and then you see the public opinion on the films. It's like, really? You're not going to give props to that film, but you're going to give props to this one? And this one is actually poorly done, but it has more popular characters. And this one was way better done, but it has obscure characters. Like, why? I don't get it. I don't understand. You know, like Marvel, when they started making films, they took Iron Man and actually made Iron Man, who was a so-so, you know, like C, maybe D-list hero. Even though he was on the Avengers, he was not the main driving force of the Avengers in comics. Now, they built a whole cinematic universe around that guy.
And not only that, the comics are solely basically around fucking Tony Stark too now.
Yeah, he's like big shit.
He's like a heavy hitter now.
Yeah, he was running S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while and everything.
Yep.
And people could wrap their heads around that, but like, not that Blade was the first successful movie and it was actually good.
The problem is those people that are able to wrap their heads around it, they weren't Iron Man fans to begin with.
Exactly.
Like, most of those people didn't know who Iron Man was before the movies came out. Because I even pointed that out with Captain America.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until I saw read Ultimates and oh god, I can't think of it offhand now. I read something else that I was
Civil War?
Yeah. Well, no, not even Civil War. Like,
oh, don't get me started on Civil fucking.
not with the magic bullet, but the time bullet. But it was something else, and I was like, damn. I see Captain America is
the Winter Soldier?
Is a problem. No, actually it was when I used to sit there and we used to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I was like, all right, I see now why you like this character. And so I was a fan then. So when the movies came out, I was like, we went from how are they going to pull this off to, oh shit, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And then Winter Soldier came out and it's like, the ball's still going. Like it never came back down.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. So... But then all these other people, they now see it too, and they now feel like they're an authority because they kind of realize something that, not to sound hipsterish.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
They realize now what we were already seeing before.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's strange, and they don't want to admit that they didn't see it before. That's the problem.
Now they're the ones that are like, I've seen it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, no, you did not.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's hard to figure out which ones are actually sincere about it and which ones are just faking the funk. Because, I mean, you have the computer. Like, back in the day, it would have been easy because we didn't have computers that we could just Google shit. Like, anybody can Google something and be an authority figure on, or be an authority and knowledge on that particular subject.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, cause
you
like
had to have a source material in front of you.
Yeah.
Like the physical material, not just look it up on Wikipedia and learn about the character.
Exactly.
Yeah, because sometimes I wonder about like Comic Book Girl 19. Sometimes I wonder if she really knows her shit like she does, like she perceives herself to be.
Yeah.
She seems very scripted.
Yeah. Because when they do their plopcast, and I'm not trying to like hate on her or anything because I subscribe after the RoboCop stuff. There's some subjects where obviously she's 1000% on because she knows what she's talking about. She lived
talking about the fucking X-Men. I'll listen to her talk about the X-Men all day.
Exactly. She knows her shit. She's been reading it like religiously, and you can tell. But then like when she goes off into other stuff, like when she went off into Spider-Man history, she doesn't know shit about Spider-Man. Like in comparison,
she doesn't know shit about Batman either.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, okay, why don't you just say from what you know, this is why you feel like this? Instead, her and her merry band of dudes, they kind of, how do I put it? And this isn't like a huge diss because, you know, I enjoy listening to them, but it's like they don't admit to what they don't know. Instead, they throw out a very like concrete, like this is how it is because we know how storytelling works and we know how this book sucked or this movie sucked based on these things. And it's like, why don't you just go back, read all that shit, then come back and let's have a complete conversation about it where you have ammunition. If it does suck, you will have ammunition to use in your, you know, your educated explanation as to why it sucks. I just hate when I listen to people just hate on shit and then they don't have a very educated reason for why they feel how they feel. Like, that's the whole point of this forum. That's why we have YouTube. That's why we have, you know, internet forums and shit. You know, we talk about what we think based on the information that we were given.
Yeah.
Or that we...
I just feel like a lot of people just want to have that title as, I'm an expert. But don't claim you're an expert if you're not an expert. Like, I never claim to be an expert because I'm not. I don't know fucking everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people will correct me in my reviews, and I'm like, please correct me because I don't know. And I'll say that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like other people, they don't say that because I feel like they're afraid of being thought of as dumb.
Yeah. Well, because it's the internet, and you know how people have the stupid anonymity, as we were talking about before. They feel like, oh, you can't see me, so I can say whatever the hell I want to say, and I'm going to, even if it makes me sound like a douche. So they're going to tell you, like whatever that guy's name is, you don't know what you're talking about because you got one Marvel Legend wrong. You mentioned you had a Freudian slip with one Marvel Legend, so you suck completely. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, really, dude?
Life sucks, and you should just go kill yourself.
I know, right? It's that kind of shit. Face to face, you'd be like, you just correct me. And I've said sometimes in other videos, multiple times, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's this. You know, you do it, Chapman Films does it, Agent O does it. It's like we all do it because we know stuff to a point, and sometimes there's things we miss. You know, we're human. So, and that's even shit that we're like 100% fans about. You know what I mean? There's always a little portion where, like Ninja Turtles, for instance. I haven't been reading Ninja Turtles in like 10 years. And I know there's new stuff out because I'm friends with the artist, but I look at the art. I haven't read the actual full books yet because he only
read that shit.
He posts stuff. Good. Yeah, from what I saw, I was like, this is amazing, but it's not like in the front of my mind. I mean, now I'm going to do it because of this dumbass movie. I need something else to kill that taste.
Yeah, man.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you were to correct me, if I was to bring up stuff that happens in that film based on the couple pages of artwork, I've seen about 20 pages of artwork from the entire series that Santoluco has been drawing, and you could easily just tell me what the plot is because I can't tell you. I can only tell you what I saw in those pictures, you know. But I'm not going to claim to be an authority because I'm not, you know. So it's I don't know. It's freaking strange. I don't get it. Now we get to the freaking disgusting looking Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles.
The Tuhtles. I like Tuhtles, but I don't like these Tuhtles.
I love lamb.
I know these Tuhtles. I don't like these Tuhtles. Okay, so like, I've seen all these images where people fixed what the turtles look like. These turtles look scary as fuck. They look like the nightmare versions of the turtles. Like, it's supposed to be something kids could also go watch, and they can root for their favorite turtle. This, I don't see kids enjoying I don't enjoy looking at them. They look horrible.
You know what they look like? I pegged it.
What?
I know exactly what the fuck they look like, and it was a movie from the 80s called, a little thing called The Garbage Pail Kids. Oh my god, you look up The Garbage Pail Kids?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. With the big teeth and everything.
I'm telling people to watch this, you gotta look up The Garbage Pail Kids and take up a picture of that and put it right next to what these ugly fucks.
And I'll color it green too, just so it really matches. It really sends a message home.
Yeah, like turtles have beaks, they don't have nostrils. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's not so much the nostrils, it's the nose.
From the Goonies. Yeah. I don't understand.
They look like Goombas from the live-action Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, like Goombas and Shrek.
And Shrek, yep,
Shrek. Maybe if Shrek had a baby with Sloth from the Goonies. A love child.
Like, so much of this film feels like it missed the mark. Like, why did we need, if you're gonna, like, the Turtles started out gritty and dark, so why did you need to go Batman Begins gritty and dark, or Transformers quote unquote gritty and dark? Like, I mean, in the trailer there were things that were in the trailer, or Amazing Spider-Man gritty and dark, because there were things in all those trailers, like a big tower falling down, bunch of guys robbing a place with, you know, machine guns and stuff, and, you know, the heroes dealing with the character in the kind of out of the dark. They come out of the shadow and land all, you know, kind of heroically, and it's all this shadows and funny lights and shiny shit going on in the background. It's like, what are you guys doing? This is not the tone. Every film cannot be given the Batman Begins tone. And here they go giving the Ninja Turtles the Batman Begins tone. Like, no, it just doesn't.
Do these people research turtles and what the fucking face of a turtle looks like?
Yeah.
Did they not know what a turtle looks like?
Or did they look at Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's artwork? I mean, this is the sad part about comic book films, is that a comic book, if you're going to make a movie of a comic book anything, it's a visual, the book serves as a visual guide to what your world should look like. Every comic book film should have the kind of thought that, like, Sin City had, where, like, everything you saw in live action, you could compare it to the frame in the book, and it was like, oh shit, it looks just like the frame in the book, except for real. So, like, if, you know, Frank Miller's anatomy is horrible, but in Sin City the film, everybody was proportioned because they were real people, you know what I'm saying? Like, Spider-Man movies, look at some of McFarlane's work. Yeah, his anatomy was crazy, but he had Spider-Man twisted all up and it looked awesome. Just do that with a contortionist, and his proportions will be right. You know what I mean? We should be able to freeze frame stuff, and they've done it to some degree with many of the Spider-Man films. But the Turtles, like, how do you fuck that up? They got it right with people in suits in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or if they really wanted to go CG, I wish they would have just ripped off the Out of the Shadows designs.
Those are perfect.
Even those had nostrils, but they didn't have the nose. Like they
still had beaks.
Yeah, they had that kind of like it was like a sunken in beak almost.
Yeah.
I think like turtles do have kind of like a beak.
Yeah.
Like when you look at them, like I'm looking at a ton of turtles right now. There's different types. There's snapping.
And the snapping turtles definitely have beaks. It's hard and everything.
They absolutely have beaks.
Yeah. So it's just weird. And I know we're talking about mutant turtles, but like
but they look like the ones in these movies. They look like a human being had sex with a turtle, and this is what it would look like.
Yeah.
You know,
I guarantee
I have to be serious when I say that, but it sounds funny. It literally looks like a human being had sex with a turtle, and like mutagen was poured on them while they were doing it. and this is the spawn child of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Splinter looks like a
turtle
full-on rat.
that just had mutagen spilled on them.
Yeah.
That's not what it looks like at all.
They're probably taking that whole concept literally, where they say like the mutagen, it will combine the DNA of the two things that have last been in contact with each other. So like they were always around, you know, Splinter, who I guess
was human.
He in one version he was human.
Oh God, what's Splinter gonna look like in this?
He looks weird. He looks like a Chinese warrior of some sort. He's got a Fu Manchu and everything. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they did. You only see him from the back because they showed like in one of the trailers. You see him from the back, but you can see the long ass beard, and you can see like the mustache, the long ass mustache.
It's kind of similar to like the new animated.
Yeah.
It's a little similar to that.
I just wish.
I don't know if I like it. I like the. I don't know. This movie is gonna be bad.
and it's strange too how like I don't know. I just don't see how this look and how this tone works for them. Like if the movie looked like this, but then we had the suits, the old school suits, I'd be like, oh okay, because at least something is still, we can latch on to something from the original. You know what I mean? We can look at them and go, oh okay, that's dead on what they looked like. Give them all red headbands, but make them look like the first movie, because I think those were the best costumes. That would have been perfect. Or if it's CG, give them, like you said, the look from Out of the Shadows. Red. All of them have red headbands. Call it a day. There you go.
Why the fuck is Leonardo wearing boots?
Yeah, he's wearing those ninja tabby boots, and
why is he
I don't know. They all like they tried to do. I mean, obviously they tried to do. You know, all their shit on them pertains to their personality. But it just looks like it looks like when you go to TGI Fridays and those people have all the flair all over them in their uniform.
You're not wearing enough pieces of flair.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the turtles look like. There's just too much shit. Like, why does Donnie need one of those Alienware computers on his back?
And night vision glasses, and
he's got a
regular
camera
glasses.
on one side of it.
And yeah.
There's just too much shit.
Too much shit.
How are you going to be a ninja running around with all that shit on you?
Nick, don't run around with shit all over him. Here's news for you, fucking James Cameron.
You mean Michael Bay?
Free lunch that guy. Hey, Cameron, can you get me a fucking turkey sandwich from hot dog?
You mean Michael Bay?
Oh, Michael Bay. Either one. They're both fucked.
Jeez.
One's a racist and the other one wants fucking explosions everywhere.
I didn't know James Cameron was racist.
Oh my god, yeah. No, Michael Bay is.
Oh, wow.
Michael Bay's a big racist.
Wow.
Sometimes there's even turtles in this movie.
I had heard something about similar to that, but I didn't know any of the I don't know any of the details.
Yeah, I don't care enough to follow their, like, you know, who they are. Like, I always get annoyed when I start seeing these posts and shit where they're like, you know, Michael Bay buys a car for $5.3 million. You're like, I don't give a shit what he bought with his money. You know what I mean? Or, you know...
That man and his money. It was his money. I don't give a shit about him.
Or like, you know, fucking, what's her name? Megan Fox, you know, she bad talks Michael Bay because he was an asshole to her on the set or something like that. And it's like, okay, I assume that people are not always going to get along with one another on the sets of these movies, so it wouldn't surprise me. Plus, I could see her being kind of not even kind of, I could see her being a prima donna. And most of the people on the set, like, we don't have time for this shit. Just do what you came here to do and go home, you know? And she probably wouldn't like that shit. So I could see it. It's not like everyone's peaceful and nice on the set.
Oh, yeah, look at Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's like one of the, like, every director he's worked with, he's like, that guy is the most difficult person to work with ever.
Oh, really? Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Even though, like, when he was Batman, like, oh, my God. Him and Joel Schumacher hate each other.
Really? They say the same shit about Wesley Snipes.
Yep. That one I do know.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
He might kick your ass, though. He might,
Yeah, exactly.
And he might just snap side kick the side of your head.
Well, like they said, he'd come to work smoking weed and
Late.
he'd be
from
late as
partying all
hell.
night.
He'd have an entourage, and and then some days he'd be in character the whole day. And, like, when they refer to him as Wesley, he won't answer until they refer to him.
So he's doing, like, the fucking Jim Carrey joint. That's
Yeah, pretty much. And people are like, yeah, you need to stop. Because Patton Oswalt, he said he had a like, kind of like the outside view about the big beef between him and Goyer. And he just explained all these weird situations, and he's cracking up while he's telling the story. Because he's like, I couldn't believe this shit was happening for real. But... Man, I don't know. But, okay, let's talk about Son of Batman.
Here we go.
We have to talk about this movie.
This fucking...
We got to talk about this steaming pile of excrement. The thing that sucks about this film is that the animation was actually decent.
Yeah.
But the story was just one of the worst stories in the history of these films, these animated films. It was as if we were on an alternate universe watching... like versions of these characters that didn't have the defining moments that we know they had. I mean, Deathstroke did not have a single one of his abilities. He could fight a little bit, but like he gets his ass whooped by Damian and Batman as if it's nothing. When we know in the comics, Batman's only won over him a handful of times, if that, because he
Twice, actually.
Yeah, he can't outfight Deathstroke. He just can't.
He literally, like, one time he fought him and won just so he could get away.
Yeah.
And then the other time, I think one time he did fucking manhandle the fuck out of him, though.
Yeah.
But that was only one time, really.
Exactly.
Deathstroke has beaten him, I think, like, 5 or 6 times, some shit like
just
that.
about every time they've met. And he damn sure would kill Damian. And
he would destroy Damian.
And in this movie, Damian, like, kind of gives it to him, and it's almost like this 10-year-old, I don't care what he's on, if the kid doesn't have superpowers, he's a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? And this is coming from someone we've trained with. Haven't we trained with kids, too? Yeah. At our old school.
Wait, do you mean this little cunt? This little pearly cunt?
Is that what you...
Riaske's review, I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not even going to call him by his name. This little cunt, I swear to God, he is the worst fucking superhero ever.
It was true. I mean, he was a douche for no reason. And like, it's funny because Damian is kind of a douche, but it's a different kind of way. He's like snotty. He's not he doesn't go out of his way to be a douche. In this, he was going out of his way to be an asshole to everybody. To Alfred, to Batman. He was like, when he first saw Batman after that awkward scene where like his mom is trying to hump Batman and Batman's like, yeah, no, didn't your dad just die? And she's like, oh, okay, you have a son. You're like, what? And the kid was standing behind like a curtain.
I was going to just say that.
The whole time.
He's standing behind him. Was he like waiting for them to bang?
Like he's peeking.
There's something fucked up with
peeking behind the curtain, like looking at, oh, my mom's about to bang Batman. Like, what?
Bush. Wow.
That is so sick.
It was wrong. Like, I swear, like, I watched that scene, I rewound it because I was like, wait a second, what? And just like you said in your review, she tells Batman, you have a son. And he's like, what? He's like, no, I don't. And she's like, yeah, you have a son. He's yours. And Batman's like, okay. Like, he doesn't argue it, nothing. He just is like, okay. He's like, okay.
Like, all right.
He's like, okay, I guess I have a son.
Bad DNA test in my belt will prove.
A little frisky, I guess.
I know, right? It was weird. Everybody was horribly out of character. Talia was even out of character. Like, she fought better than we've ever seen her fight.
Oh, yeah.
But
the beginning scene with her was like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was cool. But like, except for the fact that the League of Assassins and none of the assassins had guns, except for Deathstroke's people. They had
Why did Deathstroke's people have guns and swords? Isn't that redundant?
I think they had guns and swords.
Yeah.
Wait,
they were like their own ninjas.
Yeah, they were like little versions of him. You're right. They had machine guns, and then they had like one katana, and then he had two katanas, and he had all these guns. And then all the League of Shadows guys had like shuriken, arrows, and a sword. And I'm like, really?
League of old school assassins.
He said they were stuck in the 16th century. Yeah, it was weird, man. I was like,
they were the worst ninjas ever. They were just getting killed.
Yeah, like it was nothing.
Like they were just there to get killed.
And that's not the League of Assassins. And why was everything Chinese themed? It was all like Ming Dynasty themed. But like Ra's al Ghul is fucking Middle Eastern, and the League of Assassins is supposed to have like kind of a multicultural, almost international feel. I mean, his palace is his palace, you know what I mean? But his group, it's not one martial art that he's teaching all these guys. It's several different things because he's got people from all over the world, you know? They missed the mark so bad, man. They missed the mark. It was horrible. I kept on asking, like, and it was only me watching it, and I'm like, for real? Like, that's not how it works. And
I like midway, I had to stop it and like take a break. This is going nowhere.
To build your willpower to watch the rest.
It wasn't like I was like Golden Girlsing it. I was like fucking Dorothy. I was biting my fucking fist, and I was like, this is like an obnoxious little kid that just won't shut the fuck up. Like, it's like, and like poking you or something, and it's just like it won't go away. You have to finish watching it because it's that annoying. You know what I mean? It's just like, shut up. Shut up.
It's true. It was frustrating, man. It was real frustrating. I just couldn't believe that they missed the mark so bad. And then like the icing on the cake. Two things. So Batman wades in the freaking Lazarus pit, but then Deathstroke gets burned by the Lazarus pit. I was like, why? How did that even make sense? Why did Deathstroke get burned? Like his whole suit was all ripped up and burned and melted and stuff because he got hit with water from the Lazarus pit because Damian stabbed or tricked him into stabbing one of the pipes that had the stuff in it. But then Batman's like hanging out in the Lazarus pit
for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was like almost half of the fight with Damian. Batman was sitting in the Lazarus pit watching Talia, waiting for her to come back up out of the water. And then like
and she didn't even go nuts.
Yeah,
like, I was like, oh, she's gonna go fucking nuts and fight him.
Yeah, nah,
that just didn't happen.
She popped out. It was all dramatic.
Her eyes went white, and then she just was like, I'm okay.
Yeah, and she just collapsed.
I'm okay. Who wants a shot? Margaritas, anyone?
It was weird. It was so weird. Man, I don't know. It wasn't. You can clearly tell. And I said this. You said it in the review. I think Ryosuke even mentioned it. Bruce Timm's absence was 1000% felt.
Yes.
Like 1000%, man. It was painfully.
If this is the direction they're going, this is bad.
Yeah. I know.
It's not good.
It's like Marvel got a hold of the movie.
Yeah.
I look forward to these animated movies.
Me too, because
I don't have much to look forward to in live action from DC.
Exactly.
For at least 2 more years.
If that.
Yeah, God knows what'll happen between now and then. But yeah, no, it's like now what am I supposed to look forward to now from DC?
Yeah, I know, right?
If you don't even have that going for you, what the fuck?
I mean, their comics are kind of like, meh. Some of them are good, but most of them are meh.
Yeah, Batman's good. Like, Batman, they're always going to put their best writers on Batman.
Exactly. They better. It's Batman.
They have to. It's a money maker.
Yep.
But, yeah, it was horrible. And, what was it? The one scene where he just, before he shoots Talia, before Deathstroke shoots Talia, Batman just kicks the shit out of fucking Deathstroke in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? He punched him in the stomach and he fell on the ground and started crying? He shit his pants when they punched him?
Yeah, it was weird. It was
And then he was like crawling away, and I was like, that's how I feel. I want to crawl away from this fucking movie right now.
It was embarrassing. Here's something that might cheer us up. All right. I've noticed online, and I was talking to Agent O about this a while back, too. What is the deal with Marvel Select? Like, Marvel Select figures are so much nicer, and their whole appearance looks nicer than most of the Marvel Legends that come out. But they always are, like, substantially cheaper.
Yes.
They're bigger figures. A lot of times you get more in the package with them because you actually get accessories with them.
Yeah, look at Venom.
Yeah, that Venom figure's like easily one of the best. It's probably the best Venom we've ever got.
It's the best Venom, hands down.
Yeah, hands down. And it's always $20. I'm like, what happened? Not that I don't want to be able to afford this stuff, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, what happened? Who decided that this is how it's going to be? You know what I mean? Like, when did that happen?
Juggernaut is a beautiful figure.
Yeah, that's one of the best figures I own, period.
Yeah,
$20.
$20. Freaking, I need to get the Abomination and the Rhino.
I feel like the only Marvel Select figures that really, like, grow or retain value
Deadpool.
and appreciate value are the Disney exclusives.
And Deadpool. Any of the Deadpools.
And Deadpool.
Ugh, Deadpool.
I have that Deadpool. It's not that great.
Exactly.
It's a solid figure. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't tell all the fanboys about that.
You suck. I'm unsubscribing.
I know, right? Unsubscribed.
I'm sending you death threats as I speak.
And then I'm gonna unsubscribe.
So annoying. But
yeah, they're good. Their figures are really good. They usually come with good display bases and stuff like that.
when they have articulation, it's really good.
It's really good, but they're really inconsistent with their articulation. Like,
exactly.
one will be like a statue, and then the next one will be like the new Wolverine figure.
Well, since the new Wolverine, though, they've all had pretty decent articulation.
Yeah.
Like, because even the freaking Rhino has a ton of articulation. I won't say a ton, but for a big character, he has more than all the other big characters, you know?
Yeah.
Their Amazing Spider-Man was really good. He had decent articulation as well. Freaking Nightcrawler had almost the same articulation as the Marvel Legends one.
Mm-hmm.
I just am like, it's kind of strange the way, like, Marvel, maybe it's the name. I don't know. Are we paying for the name for Marvel? Because it says Marvel Legends, that means it needs to be a legendary price.
And that's the thing, like, the Legends don't even come with accessories sometimes.
Yeah.
And paint apps are, like, sometimes are really bad on the Legends.
Oh, yes.
If they even have it. If they even have any.
I just got that X-Men box set.
Oh,
I got it for $45, so I didn't pay a lot for it, but
yeah.
It's horrible. I'm gonna start doing the reviews this week, I think. But yeah, the highlight of that box is the Beast figure.
Yeah. And
it's like you go back to and you look at Marvel Select, and it's like, what like even like hold on, let me just pick somebody up here. Thanos is a beautifully done figure.
Yeah, man.
And that should have been a Build-A-Figure from Marvel Legends.
Like the first fucking wave. Yeah.
Waves.
We never got him. And
guess what? And there's no need to get him because you have the Marvel Select.
Exactly. And he came with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep.
It's perfect.
And he came with Death.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. What's another good one? Colossus. I got Colossus right in front of me.
Oh my god, yeah, I love that figure.
That figure is amazing.
I love that figure. Trying to think of who else is really cool because mostly I bought villains in the Marvel Select style, like the Doctor Doom. I like that Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that Doctor Doom. I like that Magneto. Magneto's nice.
Yeah, he's got a weird face though. I have to give him that.
It looks like he's dumping.
You got the Sabretooth.
Oh, Sabretooth. Sabretooth is quality.
Yeah, that is comic book accuracy.
Yeah, that one's quality. Not the first
I like
Sabretooth.
The Thing too. The Thing.
Oh, the Thing looks cool too.
Yeah.
I almost got him years ago, and then I was like, eh.
He's a big boy too.
Yeah. What about Gambit? The Marvel Select Gambit's freaking awesome too.
Yeah, that's nice.
I put all his accessories with the Marvel Legends one, just so I could have him, in scale with the rest of my X-Men team because I'm building up the '90s team. I'm like 4 away from having the whole thing. I need Archangel, Iceman, Beast, and Rogue.
Jubilee.
Rogue. And then 5 if you count Jubilee, but there is no Jubilee figure yet. And then I need a Jim Lee Cyclops, and then I'll be completely done with that, and I could just build from there. I saw your Banshee review. That shit was hilarious. He was like, what?
Text me.
He does.
I can't hear you.
He looks like freaking David Bowie, in mid scream. It's horrible. I hate that figure, man. His articulation is good, but the hands are weird. They could have done something different with those damn hands.
He's got the flapjack hands.
Yeah, they're like this. He could have. The costume could have had seams sculpted on there or something. I mean, they just were lazy, man. And even the way his those things go on his body, he used to have those on his legs. But later on, it was from his waist, just like Spider-Man. It was from the waist to his arm.
Yeah, it was first appearance Spider-Man.
Yeah, so it was. I'm like, why did they go with the oldest version of the character as far as the look goes when they could have just updated it? I remember having the old Toy Biz one before Marvel Legends with the whistle in his chest. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have that. I still have that one.
That shit's awesome. And he had the plastic. That one, the body was better. It looked better than this one because it was more accurate. He had the yellow.
That stuff was better.
Yeah. It's just strange.
They need to come out with more of the Jim Lee uniforms. And she should have been in his Jim Lee uniform.
Exactly.
That's what he's most known for.
Yep.
I know he was in the green and yellow, but really, everybody wants a Jim Lee one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's up with Jim Lee Cyclops? Marvel Select hasn't done one.
Yeah, I know, right? Marvel Legends did one, and it was horrible.
It was putrid. It wasn't even a Marvel Legend. I think it was the X-Men Classics.
X-Men Classics, you're right.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
It was horrible, and they won't do another one. Why are they doing?
And they're about to do a Magneto.
They're gonna do another Magneto.
Yeah, that's what I saw. They're gonna do a Jim Lee era Magneto.
Finally.
Really? And it'll be on the Bucky Cap body.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
You saw a picture, you said?
Yeah, I saw a picture. I'll post it. Here, I'll post it on your Facebook.
Cool. I need to check that out.
They posted it. Was they were trying to decipher it because it was it was in Chinese. And they were like, "Does anybody speak Chinese on here? I don't know what they're saying." And finally, somebody was like, "Yeah, it just says wave whatever," and then it was they were trying to decipher it. But here, I'll find that picture.
Oh, so he's gonna be in the Days
He's gonna be at the Jubilee Built figure wave for the movie.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, that means I gotta buy those figures just to get Jubilee. Fuck.
Yep. It's not even the proper Jubilee either.
Yeah, it's the vampire one. I'm like, but how did she become a vampire? That's lame.
Yeah, that's comic book writers not knowing what to do with the fucking character. They should just gave her back her fucking powers. That's what everybody was. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
I'll even still take that version.
Yeah, just
I mean, because she at least has the
yellow.
Well, no, not the trench coat, but the energy little accessories or whatever.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, she can be in the black skin tight suit as long as I can have her looking like the old school Jubilee with the energy, translucent energy accessories.
Sure, well, we'll have to go in and buy a case.
Right, so here's what the wave will include: Jim Lee, Magneto, but he's not on the Bucky Cap mold. It looks like he's got wide jointed hips.
Oh.
But then there's a Strife. There's unmasked Wolverine, which is fucking stupid.
We got Strife before we got a Jim Lee Cyclops.
Strife, and then there's another Cyclops, but it's the Marvel Now Cyclops.
With the red costume and the X over his face?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh my
God.
God.
There's a Storm. There's the new Storm with the Mohawk.
I like that suit. But that's lame.
Yeah.
That is so lame.
It's like they're doing it on purpose, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And it's an all new head sculpt too, because there's no visor there. And you can see it like I'll just send this to you.
Well, is it part of the one that you put on my Facebook?
I'm putting it on your Facebook right now, so check in a second.
Yeah, man. Jesus Christ. I don't like this shit. It's like they're not making these figures for us. They're making them for those folks like new comic book readers only. They're not making it because there's so much territory that they haven't covered, you know? Like, where's my Siren figure? I would love to have Siren and most of the X-Force, like the old X-Force. You know, where's Shatterstar? Like a Marvel Legends version of Shatterstar.
Have they done Polaris yet?
Or Polaris, yeah. Or my freaking X-Factor. Where's X-Factor? You remember in the 90s, they covered every team. Every team in the pre-Marvel Legends versions of those characters. Because when I was a kid, I had all those motherfuckers. I had everybody. I had X-Factor, like at the time, the modern X-Factor with Havoc as the leader. I had the gold and the blue team of X-Men. I had the classic X-Men. I had most of X-Force. I even had Richter. I don't even know when I came across Richter, but they made everybody, even the obscure characters that showed up in like one issue, maybe 2 panels, they made toys of them too. I had Gideon. You remember Gideon with the white mohawk? Ponytail. And if you stand too close to him, he can just take your powers or imitate your powers. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
None. All right, I just posted it.
All right.
Yeah. So, and that's the Jubilee wave. So it'll be. You can't really see her. She's like in the corner. I don't know why they did that, but she's got goggles on her head and she's got a yellow coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that figure I've seen. She was supposed to show up in another line back in like 2013. That was gonna be like radioactive. It was gonna be a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, I remember.
Radioactive Man and
Tiger Shark.
Yeah.
And I think Cardiac.
Yeah. You might be right. We were talking about this like way back when you mentioned it in one of your older videos.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're getting a Wolverine that we already got, just
with a new head.
Why can't they just give us Jubilee instead of fucking Wolverine and give us like a Thanos Build-A-Figure or somebody else that is bigger than Jubilee?
So, I know, right? So this is the Days of Future Past wave.
Yeah, this is going to be the wave. I think it comes out in July.
So they didn't even do a new Bishop.
So no Bishop and no... Where's Rogue?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get
give us Rogue instead of Wolverine.
Well, do you remember in the Wolverine Legends line, they cut Rogue from it? The modern Rogue, and they said they were going to give us that? What happened to her?
I also wanted that... what happened to her and what happened to the Phoenix 5 Cyclops? I wanted that. That suit looked badass.
It did. God, man, Hasbro, what the fuck? See, we went from Marvel Selects to Marvel Legends, and we got sad again.
Yeah, we get stuck on these fuckers every time.
Because it's weird.
I mean, the Magneto does look good.
Yeah. His face looks better than the Marvel Select one.
Yeah. he's not dumping in his pants. Why do we need another Wolverine?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because Hasbro's cheap.
They say that Wolverine, Captain America, and Iron Man are all anchors. So, like, if they make a toy line that, you know, involves superheroes from Marvel, and Spider-Man, then they have to have those characters in the toy line. But, like, sometimes they could do more because, yeah, those guys have been proven already, but you ignored all these other anchors that could work for us, you know?
Yeah.
Just
give us a fucking Jim Lee Cyclops.
Yeah, man, that's
all I want. That's
I would
all
love
I
that.
need.
I would love that. God, ugh, that's so annoying.
So
another Cyclops that's not the right version of Cyclops. In what, a year we got 3 different Cyclopses, or 3 of them and none of them were the Jim Lee Cyclops. They gave us the original, like first appearance, old school, yellow and black.
Yep.
Then they gave us the Astonishing again. Then they gave us this, and where's Jim Lee at? Like, come on. And they gave us the Jim Lee, what's her name? Jean Grey, which I got, and I'm not really impressed with, but...
I'm not either.
Oh, you did get her?
Yeah, I got her when we were talking the last time.
Yeah.
I actually bought her right then and there, and it came to me pretty fast. I was happy. And she looks good with the team because I'm seeing the colors and stuff that I'm supposed to see, but her body, she's still got that teenage body, and I don't like that.
She needs to be curvier.
She needs to be taller.
Yeah, she needs to be a woman.
Yeah. Like, I really want, if I could find the Moonstone body, or even Satana's body, probably Moonstone because it's white. That way, if you painted over it with the orange, it would actually look right. You know what I mean? But
those bodies are going to come out more often.
Yeah, I can't wait because then I could actually get someone to make me my custom.
Do those ones have an ab crunch?
No, it's
no, they have that diaphragm.
I mean, it's Black Cat's body.
I don't know why they couldn't put an ab crunch on that figure.
I mean, I don't mind this. Their diaphragm joint works. It doesn't look bad.
I haven't taken mine out of the package yet.
You failed. You failed. You stand in the corner. You failed.
Stand in the corner and look good.
You think about what you've done.
Yes. Good ab crunch. Diaphragm joint.
Yeah, she needs this grown woman's body. It just looks so much better. Yeah, I just switched the heads on the Black Cat and Jean Grey. Well, not switched, but I put Jean Grey's head on there. It's kind of wobbly because the pegs are different, but she's the right scale. Like her height, the longer legs with the thicker thighs and everything. Like, that's what
every time I see that figure or the like any type of that body of figure, I always go, but that ass though.
I know, right? I know that ass.
But that ass.